Is anyone else on? Hello, hello.
Hey, buddy.
There you go. Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing just great. How about yourself?
Everything's great.
I like your picture. It's very debonair, very handsome.
Thank you, man. I'm trying to do nothing but high-end homes. I have to look a certain way.
I'll tell you, I mean, I'm new, but I think that once you get in the market, that's easier to sell a big home, all cash, no loan, than these small little deals that fall out of escrow for not being able to come through with your qualifications. So
Same paperwork.
exactly.
So yeah,
it's just as easy to make a big deal than a small deal, or it's easier sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, true. It's just building relationships. That's all. Just building relationships. Can you hear me?
Have you been an agent for a while?
I've been in the business a long time. I just became an agent probably a couple of years ago. I've been in the business 30 years. I deal with a lot of distressed property investment stuff.
Sure.
I decided to become an agent. Just normally I don't want any extra licenses for anything, but I decided to become an agent just because I just wanted some kind of credentials and in real estate. But I've been in the game a long, long time.
How can you be in a long time? You look 28 years old, except for the silver beard.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, man. That's just good eating, good health. I'm in my 60s.
You look well. I can't see you. I see your picture. You look terrific.
Well, if you see, if that's a recent picture, so that's pretty much what I look like.
Well, I know, but everyone uses pictures that are airbrushed.
No, that's pretty much that's pretty much what I look like right there. But the difference is I exercise, my diet. I'm a vegan. You know, I do the things that are necessary to keep your youth.
So I train with Arnold every morning, and I haven't since the gym shut with COVID, but he became a vegan recently, and he swears by it.
Oh yeah, it changes everything, man. Because have you seen that thing they all did on Game Changers?
I did not.
On Netflix. Are you
I'll have
there?
to look into it. I am here. You know what? Let's see if I end this. Someone just popped in. How do I?
Yeah, if you've seen Game Changers on Netflix, you'll see everybody how much more strength you have from being a vegan, the whole bit.
Well, I am an animal advocate, and the way I see some of the slaughtering is just so inhumane, so disgusting. Breaks my heart. But I haven't stopped eating.
Man. It's ridiculous how we treat
Oh,
things that are very similar to us.
That's right. Pigs are not smarter than dogs.
Say it again.
I said pigs are as smart, if not smarter, than dogs.
And there's probably a lot of animals that have a really sensible quality.
I agree.
But we treat them differently because we don't understand them and we think we can. But I think that's part of our problem.
Humans are egocentric. You're right.
And that's why we treat each other so badly at times, because we think we can treat things bad, you know? What's up, Jared?
What is up? Good morning, everybody. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I just got off of a Zoom meeting with a client in Santa Barbara and her parents, and they're in Switzerland. So sorry if I'm late. We are closing next week. Just wrapping that up. Okay, so now is a good time, everybody. If you want to go grab a something to drink, a coffee, while I pull up today's coursework.
Yes.
And let's get started around 11:05. Let's shoot for that, all right? Talk to y'all soon.
So what's going on, Jerry?
Sorry?
What's going on? Everything good?
Everything's good. I'm just a little bit behind. So I'm grabbing today's coursework and I'm going to put it in the chat box right now. And then I'm going to grab a quick coffee. But I'm good. I'm good. Had a good weekend, very productive. I have a couple of things popping up on the radar. So all good stuff. How about you? How was your weekend?
Good, good. Just getting prepared.
Nice, nice. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna go grab a quick coffee. I need my coffee before we start. And so real quick, I'm gonna also, I have to pull up the daily 10-4 and then we'll get rocking and rolling. Sounds good, everybody?
Terrific.
Awesome. 1 minute. Okay, I'm having some technical difficulties. I'm having a problem finding the contact sheet. I must have saved it under something incorrectly. And anyway, so let's just go over it verbally. How was everybody's week? Let's start with St. Christopher. How many contacts did you make since last Wednesday? And did you get any appointments scheduled?
I made like 5 contacts. I got 1 scheduled.
Nice. How did that go?
Went fine. Because he's waiting on some things to happen. He's in the music industry, so he's waiting on some other things to happen. This is a distress. I'll tell you, I still deal with a lot of distressed property. So
nice.
This is one of those meetings, and so I'm trying to find out. I got a couple. Well, he needs help. He just, he's acting like he may not, but I know he does. So.
Right. I like it. Well, good stuff, man. We'll stay on it. And is he a buyer? Is he a seller?
He's going to be a seller. He's going to have to be a seller.
Good
He's
stuff.
about to lose it, but he has about $300,000 with equity, and he lives in Northridge. So, we'll see what he needs to do. I might try to get that renew situation in if it's necessary. Good. Try to work all the areas and see how well it works for him.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, the Renew thing is awesome. If anybody doesn't know what Renew is, we are able to do staging, minor, cosmetic repairs, also including is like landscaping. They can do a whole, wealth of different, items and tasks that we might need to do to get a property up to par and on the market. And it's all paid through escrow. So they don't have any out-of-pocket costs. So it's an amazing program. If you don't know what it is, I highly recommend looking into it. It's a valuable tool that we have in our arsenal of toolbox. Anyway, so good stuff, Christopher. I love it. Oh gosh, Boychin.
It's Craig.
Craig, there we go. Sorry about that.
Okay, so
what's good? How was your weekend?
Nice, thank you. I have a mouthful. So 17 reach outs and 1 contact.
Nice. Attaboy, keep it up. Fatima, you are always rocking and rolling. How you been?
I'm good. Just busy, like working 4 different jobs, but just doing my thing.
Like outside of real estate, you got other things rocking and rolling?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Side hustles. I love it.
Yeah.
What do you do outside of real estate?
Well, I'm also working in property management, and then I'm just doing like some acting and modeling jobs too, and marketing.
Nice. I love it. Good stuff.
Yeah.
How are your contacts? Get any leads recently?
Not leads yet, but I've been adding a lot of new contacts. I've added like 15 new contacts. I've been everywhere that I go when there's new people. I just, I tell them I'm a realtor, I give them my card. So with giving people cards, I probably last week gave out like 20 cards.
Nice. I love it. Good stuff. Keep it up. All right, Batya, how about you?
How's it going?
It's going good. I think I had too much salt last night because my eyes feel very puffy. But
your food looked amazing on Instagram. That looked really good. The onions, that looked good.
I put too much. I think I put too much salt in that thing though, because I'm like, I just woke up like, ugh. Anyway.
Yeah, that's what happens when I eat too much salt. So I reached out to 14 people, and then I had 7 contacts, and I showed 3 people different things. 2 were leases and 1's a buyer.
Nice. How's the are those leases the 2 properties you were referring to on like Pico Robertson?
No, those are still 2 out of the 3 are still vacant, I believe, but these were different condo leases. Yeah.
Is that Hebrew in your painting behind you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Good eye.
Boker Tov.
Boker Tov.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm a Jew.
Nice. I love it. All right. You have Zoom user. Who's Zoom user?
Yeah, you, but you're muted.
Hi.
Hi. Are you new?
Yeah, I'm new. I'm Angela. I didn't put my name down. I'm sorry.
All good. Welcome, Angela. So what we're doing right now, and unfortunately I don't have my spreadsheet up. I found an old version of the spreadsheet, so it's somewhere lost in my desktop, so I apologize, everybody. But essentially what we're doing is we're talking about how many proactive daily outreaches can we make to potential clients, and that's our sphere of influence. It could be random people. It could be people we meet at the grocery store. It could be cold calling. It could be, you sent out a bunch of mailers and somebody called you back. Whatever it might be, we're, proactively reaching out to our sphere, our farm, or whatever. And we're trying to make a commitment to make a certain amount of daily calls per day. So I know that you're new, so I'll just fill you in on what we're doing. We'll circle back next class and go from there. But awesome. Welcome to have you. And it's Angela.
Yes.
Welcome. Pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Archer. Hi. Sorry, my dog is trying to come up and hang out with me. Come on, bud. Okay, I can't help you, bud. All righty, awesome. Crystal Stewart, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How was your weekend? Did you make any contacts since last Wednesday?
Yeah. So I've spoken to 17 people, and I had conversations with 15 of them, and then one person who said that she is looking to buy within the next year. So it's just a friend of mine who I know in Santa Barbara. So
nice. I'm closing a property in Santa Barbara right now, and honestly, I kind of want to move there now.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful. And you know what? Prices are not as bad as LA, and you get almost beachfront living. So it's really great. Awesome, Crystal. Keep it up. Good stuff.
Thanks.
Hey on.
Hi, good morning.
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Awesome. How are you? How was your weekend? Did you?
Great, it was great. So I reached out to 57 people. I've been in contact with 3, and I did get a hold of one of my friends that's living in the East Coast, and his sister and her family is actually moving to moving to LA this summer.
Oh,
So
cool.
they're looking for actually 2 properties. So that's a great lead for me.
That's a good phone call right there.
Yeah, right?
And you know what? Just to touch upon it, if you don't call, you would never know. You know, so
Exactly.
it just shows that, you know, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've talked to friends and family, you know, just loosely, like, and not bring up real estate. And then 3 months later, they have on their Instagram, just bought a house. And I'm like, are you effing kidding? Yeah, absolutely. And there's no animosity. People just forget, you know, or they're
Yeah.
referred to, you know, their family realtor or whatever. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That's why follow up makes so much difference. You gotta follow up.
Yep, gold is in the follow up. Little nuggets of gold there, 100%.
Gotta stay on their minds.
Yes, yes. Awesome, good stuff. And KWBH Live is Alfredo, so we'll skip that one. Morgan Dixon.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I am great. How are you? How was your weekend?
Good. It was good. Since our last class, I reached out to 15 people and about 5 contacts, all of which are my friends who will be potentially looking to buy within this year. But obviously, I'm holding those in place until I get my DRE number. So, you know, I'm just kind of like, once I get that going, I will want to initiate like an appointment and then move that along. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome, awesome. Good stuff. And yeah, keep following up with them. And, you know, gold, like St. Christopher said, gold is in the follow-up. So good stuff.
Right.
All righty. Amber C., how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am swimmingly. I'm good. Thank you. So how was your weekend? Any new contacts? I know that you are dealing with a couple of buyers and sellers.
Weekend was good. I reached out to 5 more additional people and talked to all 5 of them.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
How'd they go?
Good. I have another friend that is looking to buy. He's renting right now in Simi Valley, but he wants to purchase a home.
Nice.
For, you know, obvious reasons. It costs less or the same as rent. So.
Yep. 100%. And yeah, so everybody, just so you know, mortgage rates did go up this week. They're actually back to, on a national average, back to what they were beginning, what was it? I think like last year, it's up to like 3%. So just so you know, mortgage rates are going up a little bit, but not enough to really affect the affordability. You know, it's going up from 2 something up to about 3. And it's still extremely affordable for people to purchase. So we're not expecting a huge slowdown. But yeah, all good stuff. So get out there, have those conversations with people because they could miss that ship if we don't have that convo with them. So good stuff. Awesome. Lisa, are you new or are you returning?
I'm returning.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I don't have my sheet in front of me. Very awesome. So how was your weekend? How was your contact since last Wednesday?
It was good. I reached out to like all of my Facebook friends. It was like 50 people. And out of those, I think I have 3 buyers.
Nice. And by the by, that's a great sample study. Out of 50 people, you'll find about 3 buyers, you know, or 3 leads potentially. And now we don't know when those buyers are going to close necessarily. Do you know if some of them are like super active, like, yeah, we're already looking, we're ready to rock and roll, or some of them, you know, more of them kind of like 6 months down the line?
One's already looking, so I'm going to send her a survey later today. And then 2 of them should be within like the next 6 months to the end of the year.
Nice. And you know what? That again is a perfect sample study from my experience, at least. Every like 50 contacts you make, you'll find one person who's ready to rock and roll and a couple other people who are, you know, downline business. And so keep that in mind, everybody, when we're making those calls, you know, try to push yourself to make 20 more, you know, during a call session. Try to push yourself to make 10 more, whatever it might be, because you might just be that much further away from that nugget of gold. So good stuff. Awesome, Lisa. Keep it up. All righty. Taylor Smith, like Taylor Swift. I like it.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. How you been?
Good. So I have, I made 44 contacts this week and I contacted 5 and I have 1 appointment.
Nice. Good stuff. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Iman.
Hey guys, I actually just joined Keller.
What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. I'm just I just came on because of recommendations, so I'm just trying to learn as much as I can.
No worries. So what we're doing, like I explained earlier, is essentially we are going over our daily contacts, trying to see if we're hitting those numbers. Archer, careful. Yep. Hey, bud. Okay. Sorry, my dog's about to knock my power thing out of the socket. Anyway, so yeah, we're basically trying to make contacts and holding ourselves accountable to making those contacts, seeing how many proactive reaches we've been making. So next class, we'll follow up and we'll put you down on the sheet. And other than that, good stuff. Great to have you. Let's get right into it. Okay, so in the chat box, I put in, I don't know if you guys can hear my dog. I apologize. I put in the chat box, I'm putting it in again for anybody who just joined, the information for today's class. And away we go. Let me get this screen share going. Okay, so today is Ignite Power Session 3, Find Your Business. I'm going to kick my dog out of the room because he is very, very vocal this morning. I apologize about that. Okay, so we just went over our daily 10-4, or at least our numbers portion. And let's get into the referral script right away. If I could have 2 people do this one, because I'm going to put my dog over in his doghouse for a little bit so we can get through this without interruptions. If I could have, let's see. Let's get an old pro. Fatima, if you could read this script for us and then have Craig be the person you're calling. We'll do a little role play.
Okay.
Asking for referrals. And Fatima, can you see it on my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get it all on the screen. There we go. Okay, perfect. I'm listening. I'm going to put my dog away real quick. Go for it.
Okay. Hi, Craig. My name is Fatima. I'm with Keller Williams Realty. Your name was given to me by a close friend of both of ours, Roger, and he said I should give you a call. Is right now a good time to talk for a couple of minutes?
Absolutely. I have a couple minutes, but I'm in a rush.
Okay, excellent. Well, Roger said that you were thinking about buying a house in Los Angeles in the next couple months, and I asked if I would give you a call, and he and I both wanted to make certain that you are in great hands and that you have the very best. So that's why I'm calling. So since everyone likes to know what houses are selling for, I'd like to share my real estate app with you. You can see what's going on from anywhere, from your street to any place in North America. It's free. There's no cost to you, and I can send you a text to link to it. Does that sound good?
What is the app?
So it's basically an app that shows you all the houses that are currently on the market, gives you all the interest rates, gives you different market stats, and it's just really a lot of good information that can help you if you're a home buyer.
Sure. Is it different than Zillow, or it is Zillow?
Yeah, it's different than Zillow because it's through our company Keller Williams, so it's definitely different.
This sounds good.
Yeah. So have you seen anything that you like this far?
So a couple properties, but they're just not perfect for me yet. So I'm not in a rush, but I'm ready. I've been pre-qualified, so I'm ready to go if I find the right property.
Excellent. Okay, so what was your ideal time planning to move?
Again, there's no rush, so I don't know. I don't have kids, so it's not a school system or anything like that. It's just when I find the right home.
Got it. Okay, well, the next step is for us to get together so I can answer all your questions and explain to you how the entire process works. It will only take about 20 minutes. We can meet today, or would tomorrow be better for you?
No, not till next week. This week's already shot for me. I'm full.
Okay. Well, I understand. Just so you know, I have a wealth of interesting and timely information about the real estate market in your area, so I'd love to send it to you. Let me just make sure I have your current email and address. Is it still craig@yahoo.com on 123 Main Street?
I've moved. It's 124 Dick Street.
Okay, great. Well, do me a favor, please. If you hear of someone with a real estate need, would you definitely keep me in mind?
I don't feel confident in doing that till I meet you in person one-on-one first, but if we have a nice rapport, absolutely.
Okay, well that I definitely can understand that. Well, the first thing today, if you could just download the app, try it out, and then send me a text, let me know how you like it. I definitely would appreciate that.
That would be, sounds terrific. Thank you.
Okay, well, great. Well, thanks for your time today. Please let me know if there's anything I can do for you, and I look forward to meeting you.
I'm embarrassed. Can I ask you one more time for your name? I forgot your name.
Yes, it's Fatima.
Fatima?
Fatima.
Nice to meet you. Look forward to getting the information.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
You guys could have fooled me. That was great.
That's awesome. And Craig, good kind of pushing back and throwing a little bit of curveballs in there. But
I had fun doing that.
Totally. And, so whenever we're role playing, we don't want to just always be yes, 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 yes. We want to throw in a couple curveballs because that's what real life is going to be like. And so good job, Fatima, with rolling with the punches and getting it out. So good stuff. So, I mean, again, what I always like to say about scripts is scripts are amazing because it allows us to, have fluid conversations with people, even if they are kind of, throwing some things out of left field. One day we'll go ahead and try some stuff and I'll really be a difficult person to cold call and I'll start talking about my dog or whatever. But my point is eventually we're going to be able to go, oh wait, this is where I was on the script. And oh, this is where I left off, and let's reel him back in and get him back to what we want to talk about, which is getting some more business. So good job. All righty. If I could have Craig do this one now, and you'll do it with me, and I'll be the person you're calling. This is New to Real Estate. And on my screen, as you can see, it says, hello, this is, and then it goes over to the right side for the rest of the script.
Tell you what, my glasses are bad and I'm using my device, my phone, I can't read it very well. I'm embarrassed.
Okay, sure. No worries. Understandable. Let's find somebody else. Who wants to elect themselves for New to Real Estate? Come on, people.
I'll try it.
All right.
Hello, this is Craig Hodis. Do you have a moment?
Hey, Craig, sure. I have about 10 minutes. What's up?
Well, I'd like to share the exciting news that I've become a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. With this new partnership, I have all their knowledge working for me, plus my clients get all my enthusiasm and hard work. I thought about sharing this with you because I knew you would be someone to help me grow my business.
Sure. Yeah, possibly. How can I help you?
So do I continue on? First, I'd like to share my real estate app with you. Is that where? Okay. Yeah. You can see what's going on anywhere from your street to any place in North America. It's free. There's no cost to you. I can send you a text so you can link it in or link into it. Does this sound okay?
Yeah. I have a Zillow app. I have Redfin.
Those are great tools. This is real specific to Keller Williams. It's very special. And I think you'll enjoy seeing the differences that we can provide you.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Send it on over.
That sounds good. I'd like to ask, who might you know from work or your neighborhood or group you belong to who's interested in buying or selling a home or investing in real estate now?
Man, I have no clue. I haven't been to the office in over a year.
I understand.
My own mom doesn't even talk to me that much. She doesn't know how to Zoom. So I don't really know anybody right now.
Well, never know in a month's time or in 6 months' time, I hope you'll think of us or think of me, because I have a wealth of interesting and timely information about the real estate market in your area. And I'd love to send it to you. Let me make sure I have your current email address. Is it blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, it's jaredmarcusm@gmail.com. Perfect.
Terrific. Will you do me a favor? If you hear of anyone with real estate need, will you keep me in mind?
Yeah, Craig, I like your can-do kind of attitude. 100%, I'll keep you in mind.
I really appreciate that. I promise I'll work hard for them and for you. And after you download the app, will you try it out and send me a text to let me know how you like it?
Sure, absolutely. 100%.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time and help. And please let me know if there's anything I could do for you in the future. It'd be a pleasure to work with you.
Awesome. Good job, Craig. Yeah. So, this script, sometimes these scripts, again, I know we've done them before. They can get a little bit wordy, but the more we practice them, the more we can kind of trim them down to, what we kind of, our own terminology, how we would say it. And, so again, I want us to try to practice these as much as possible until we get to the point where we can just kind of spit it on out. All righty, let's see. I want to do somebody else. Remind them you're in real estate. Let's see. Let's see. Amber, how about you? Can you remind them you're in real estate?
Yes. Okay, so hello. This is Amber. Do you have a moment?
Oh, hey, Amber. Yeah, sure. What's up? How you been?
Good, thanks. It's been a while and I'd like to apologize for not staying in touch. I've been super busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like yourself. I wanted to share with you that I have a personal goal to help 10 families get into the home of their dreams this year. As you already know, I'll do whatever it takes to help people. May I count on you to help me reach my goal?
Yeah, I mean, you must be busy. I haven't heard from you since we closed on our house about 6 months ago. Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess. What's been going on in the market?
Awesome. I don't know where to go from there.
Okay, so there, I did that on purpose. So let's try that one more time. We'll flip it around. You give me some stuff like that, and I'll be you, and we'll try that one more time just in reverse. So I'll give you a call and throw a little curveball at me, kind of like, oh, maybe exactly what I said, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Sound good? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, hello, this is Jared. Do you have a moment?
Hey, Jared. Yeah.
Hey, Amber. Listen, it's been a while, and I would like to apologize for not staying in touch, but I've been really busy growing my real estate business, working with great clients like yourself. I wanted to share with you that I have a personal goal to help about 10 families get into the home of their dreams. As you already know, I'll do anything I can to help them out. And I was wondering if I can count on you to help me reach my goal.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. How's the market looking actually?
Market is strong. There are more buyers than sellers. So I know you've only been living in your place for about 6 months, but if you wanted to sell, it'd be a great time. You might even already have equity. I'm kidding, obviously. But no, it's a great market. Interest rates are really driving a lot of buyers to finally get off the sidelines. And it's really, really honestly amazing. Do you know anybody who's looking to buy right now?
Possibly. I'm sure I do. I could reach out to some of my friends and let you know, or let them know to contact you if you'd like.
Sure, that sounds good. And so first, what I'd like to do before you do that, I'm going to go ahead and send you a link to my real estate app. So that way, when you're talking about me, you can also just send it right over to them, copy and paste it, and boom, they'll have it. Does that sound good good to you?
Yeah, sounds great. People love apps.
Awesome, me too. Everything's an app. I pay my own car insurance on an app right now. So anyway, so I'd like to ask I've already asked you, but if you could still continue to think about, people you might work with, people who are in like church groups or, synagogues, if you're Jewish, I don't know if you're, whatever you are, but, fun, organizations you might be a part of. And if you could think of anybody, that'd be really awesome. Could you help me out there?
Yeah, definitely. Not a problem.
Awesome. And in the meantime, I have a wealth of timely information about the real estate market, very specific to your area. I just want to make sure I still have your email address. Is it still amber123@gmail.com?
Perfect.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and send you like some monthly updates. Don't worry, I won't flood your inbox. And also do me a favor. If you do hear of anybody, I know I keep mentioning it, with any real estate needs, please feel free to let them know about me. And also if you have any time, to let me know what you think of the real estate app I just sent you.
Perfect. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Amber. And let me know if there's anything I can ever do for you.
Thank you.
So I actually felt like I jumbled up on a couple of those ones myself. So it kind of just shows that even the instructor needs to read these over a couple more times. But the whole thing is oftentimes when you're in a cold calling situation, they will start talking about something that might not be on your script. And we kind of have to be able to vamp a little bit and kind of, roll with the punches, so to speak. So for example, when Amber asked, how is the market? I wanted to be able to talk about the market. Now, with that said, sometimes the going back into the script thing, I don't know. Let me ask you, because I felt like it was a little bit like choppy going back into the script. How did it seem when you were all listening into it? Because sometimes what you hear when you're speaking is different from how it sounds.
The sentence or the part when you start talking about there's a wealth of information I could send to you, that sounded very scripted. It didn't sound like a real human person would say it the way you said it. That's
right.
The only thing.
Exactly. So with that point, I like to use myself as an example sometimes of what not to do. And this is a perfect example. So when we practice these scripts a little bit more in depth and we really, really learn them and like have them like memorized, you will be able to avoid that. This is not a script that I admittedly use when I do cold call, but it is a good one. So don't get me wrong there. So for example, on this one, going in from that, I may just continue with the conversation, frankly, if we're, just chit-chatting about the market and whatnot. And I might even go off the script completely and just go straight to something like for example, I think I asked like in this script, there's like 3 or 4 points where I'm asking for referrals. And
right.
It gets a little bit, it's like, well, didn't you just say that? Like, so anyway, so for example, on a lot of these scripts, I might want to read through them a little bit more and just kind of doctor it up just a little bit. But anyway, you guys get the point, I'm sure, and good stuff. And more importantly, even if you do sound scripted, so what? At least you're making the calls, at least you're asking the questions. And you'd be surprised at how often, just by asking the question, you get exactly what you need. And if you don't ask, you never get it. So good stuff.
But this is not considered a cold call, is it? Because it sounds like the past client they put into a house 6 months ago.
Yes, correct. So for example, it's a warm call. It's okay. A warm, because we're calling for business. I'm definitely sitting down I'm imagining myself using the script. I'm sitting down at my desk and I'm going through old contacts.
Okay, great.
And so, yeah, it's a warm call, I would call it. But anyway, so good stuff. So everybody, so after we do our cold calling or our warm calling, and by the by, when you're doing warm calls, I would never use a script, frankly. For example, this, remind them you're in real estate script. I would likely never use it. I've just done business with them. I have a rapport already built with them. I would just give them a call and I would just get like, hey, how you been? What's new? How's the family? Oh yeah, how are the kids? Awesome. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Hey, listen, I'm trying to help, 10 families get into, I have a really lofty goal. I understand this. I'm trying to get 10 families into a house. Just wondering if you know anybody from work, any of your friends. I know you're involved with the church. I know you're involved with the PTA at school. Do you know anybody who's looking to buy? I'd love to help them out. Yes, no, okay, fair enough. Hey, how's the wife? What did you guys do the last weekend? I think I saw on Instagram you did this. Oh, cool. So the point is, you're absolutely right, Craig. I wouldn't get into such a canned conversation. I would have one or 2 points that I'm trying to hit in that call.
Right.
But other than that, it would just be kind of like a check-in call, like how you doing, what's up,
Exactly.
Shoot the shit, so to speak. Awesome. So so after we make these calls, like what we always say in our daily 10-4, we want to go ahead and follow up with it with a handwritten note or a very nice text or an email, whatever you feel comfortable with that client. Some people prefer certain modes of communication, and go ahead and just follow up with a thank you for taking the time to chat with me today. It was really great to catch up. I appreciate this and that. And oh, by the by, I hope your kid did well in their soccer game, whatever it might be. And it just reinforces that you're an awesome person and that they want to work with you. All righty. So active questions for the group. Get your head in the game. In Power Session 2, you committed to build your database and launch contacts on your touch campaigns. To continue to add to your database, you will need to lead generate for additional contacts. Why is active lead generation so important? Can somebody tell me why actively lead generating rather than passively waiting for people to contact you is so important? And what, by the by, before we get into that, What do I mean by active lead generation?
Like having a set schedule and routinely doing it over and over again. It will help you get better, and it will also help your business because you'll start to get more contacts, and then it will also become more easier for you, and you'll probably find it more enjoyable.
100%. And, you know, oftentimes, you know, when I have listings, for example, I can get a little bit complacent on the lead generation side because my phone's ringing and, you know, I'm just like fielding calls, you know, whatever that, and that's kind of, I feel like I'm lead generating, but I'm really not. Why am I not really lead generating when I'm just throwing ads on, you know, Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and I'm just kind of sitting back? Why is that not active lead generation?
Well, it's passive.
Yeah, it's very passive. You're building a trap, basically. You're trying to trap some leads and you're just kind of sitting back. You're a trapper. I want us to be hunters. You know, you can be a trapper, you can be a hunter. And, you know, trapping is good, but trapping takes resources. You need to learn how to build a trap. You need to also spend money on building that trap. And so my point is trapping has a lot of resources involved. It has a lot of time involved. And frankly, it's a little passive. Hunting for leads or being active in your lead generation, all you need is a bow and arrow and your 2 feet. You know, so my point is to use a hunting analogy, is that you can get out there and actively seek those leads on your own. And so, for example, just kind of waiting back for people to contact you is good, and it's definitely something that we need to be doing. But in addition to that, how much better is it to actually pick up the phone and call somebody directly and ask them if they're looking to buy or sell? Like, for example, Aeon, you know, picked up her phone and talked to her friend in New York and found out there's going to be 2 properties they're going to buy in Los Angeles. I'm pretty darn sure she's also posted on her Facebook or Instagram or whatever that she's in real estate. So you see the difference there? By picking up the phone, she actually talked to the person she needed to speak to and got, you know, an actual lead because of that proactive outreach. Mm-hmm. So good stuff. So yeah, why is lead generation important?
Because real estate is a lead generation business.
Hell yeah.
We should even call it real estate. We should call it lead generation because that's all it is. If you don't lead generate, you're wasting your time in the game. And you can't be afraid. You have to go through the stages to make those cold calls because that's really the generation.
Yep.
Cold calling. If you're doing everything else, that's fine. But if you're calling 100 people a day, because like I said, I've dealt with distressed property because I've called properties and I'm dealing with 1 and I get access to 5.
Yep.
By the same owner with the same problem. So if you don't make the calls, you're just leaving money on the table. That's just it.
100%. And the other thing that I want to point out to everybody, and this is something that experienced agents deal with, and once they deal with it 2 times, the smart ones won't have to deal with it again because they realize the importance of being proactive with their lead generation, is you get that feast or famine effect, where all of a sudden you have 4 listings, you're closing on all of them, you're knocking them out of the park, you're hyper focused on all your listings because you're in this project manager role, and all of a sudden all 4 of those listings close, and fuck, where's my clients? I don't have any more clients. Where am I going? Oh my gosh. And you have this like famine moment where all of a sudden now all you are doing is lead generating because you don't have any active clients anymore. You've closed on all of them. So the point is that instead of having this like, oh, I'm busy, now I'm not. Oh, I'm busy, now I'm not. You want to continuously, even when you're in all those escrows, keep lead generating. So when you do close that escrow, you're about to enter into another escrow with a buyer, or you just signed a new listing and you're getting it ready for market. So you want to always constantly have something filling your pipeline full of qualified active buyers or sellers. And by doing that lead generation on a daily basis and saying, hey, no matter what, I'm going to lead generate for 2 hours on these days. You know, for example, lead generation, by the by, for everybody could be a little bit different. I know that we say the daily 10-4. However, if your schedule, just because of how it's set up, for example, me, I know that I'm on a power call at 9 a.m. with Josh. I'm on this sometimes until 2 p.m. By the time I'm done with this, I'm just mentally fried. I don't really lead generate on Mondays and Wednesdays, but my lead generation days are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And at the end of Friday, I'm scheduling my weekend so I know where I need to be for all those, stuff. But because of that, instead of just doing an hour on Tuesday and an hour on Thursday and an hour on Friday, I do 2 hours on Tuesday, 2 hours on Thursday, and 2 hours on Friday. So I'm making up 6 hours for the entire week of lead generation. And so by doing that, I'm not doing it daily, but I'm splitting it up throughout the week. So I'm able to, be fresh whenever I am lead generating. And, you don't get this burnout kind of feeling, because I hate to say it, lead generation can be a little bit daunting. You're getting a lot of no's from a lot of people and hoping for that one yes. And eventually you will get those yeses, but it could weigh on you a little bit. So keep that in mind. I don't always recommend lead generation for 5 hours in a day. It could get a little bit, exhausting, frankly. So break it up. Make sure you're able to put them into chunks that you're able to digest, and it's really awesome. So, what do you think the difference between successful agents compared to their not so successful agents in their lead generation? I think Fatima actually touched upon it a second ago.
Consistency.
Mm-hmm. Sorry while I was taking a bite. I was expecting a longer silence, frankly. Yes, consistency.
And I would also say authenticity, when it doesn't sound rehearsed, when it comes off as natural.
Well, the point with that, that's true. But with the point with that, you'll just have to keep practicing to become.
That's right.
That's one thing about this game. You just can't, especially if you haven't really done it, is a point. I think it's kind of, it's robotic at first. Then it's fear first, then it's robotic, and then it smooths out as it goes. So, after you make 1,000 calls, then you're great. So you just have to make the call.
And role play helps so much with that too. To your point, Christopher, because it's fear and then it's robotic, right? So when you get past that fear and you do a bunch of role plays, that really shortens that robotic timeline too.
And what's wonderful about it is we can do that with one another.
Yeah.
So we can have our acting classes with one another, and then when we get on the phone, we're ready. So it just makes a lot of sense. This is a good situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I also just wanted to add, I think what makes a difference is also to having that follow-up action, right?
You gotta follow up.
Got them on the phone. What's the next step? I noticed when Josh had done after our introductory meeting, like I'm sure many of you, I specifically remember him asking, okay, what's the next step? Where do we go from here? What are you waiting on in order to see? And I think in order to identify what the objective is at that time, overcome it to, okay, let's do a meeting, or let's get the listing agreement signed, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I also think that proves your value to your whoever, the people that you're lead generating with. When you show them that you're consistently following up, it shows, who you are.
Yeah. And believe me, I don't know how many people were recruited by Josh on this call. I was. So my point is Josh is relentless with his, lead generation for new agents. I remember he called me like 2 or 3 times, and eventually I was just like, I like this guy. Like, he's relentless. Like, I kind of want to be around that energy. Like,
I said the same
thing. Yeah, Josh is a beast. He's a beast with it, man. There's no playing with Josh.
Right. No, there is no play. And I have to admit, I was just like, I came from listen, I don't like to talk about which broker it is because I respect this brokerage immensely, the one that I came from. I think they're phenomenal brokerage, don't get me wrong. But it was lackadaisical. It was like, yeah, sure, yeah, whatever, yeah, I guess, yeah. But Josh is like, I know what I want. I know where we're going, where we're headed, where we're doing. I was like, I want to be around that. So whenever I'm lead generating, sometimes I like to put on a little Josh hat and pretend that I'm him. And coming from a place of contribution, high intensity, But coming from a place of caring and seeing where I could be of value. And so keep in mind, just because you're being persistent doesn't mean you're being annoying or disturbing somebody. You're coming to help somebody with a problem, and always come from that mindset, because I guarantee you Josh does, and he believes it. It's not a question in his mind when he's making those calls. I know that Keller Williams is going to be the better brokerage for you. So just like I know working with me is going to be the better agent for you when you're making those calls. So awesome. So for everybody who's new on this call, and everybody who's been on this call before knows that this is my favorite slide of the entire curriculum, and it's the truth. Making lead generation, it's job number one. Prospecting is the quickest and most productive way to get leads and appointments for business. The quantity of leads and quality of appointments you obtain is a direct reflection of your prospecting efforts. Remember that the daily 10-4 has lead generation built into the formula. You do this daily to build a habit of doing what's most important for your business before all else. Prospecting determines the size of your funnel. The goal is to move leads to appointments, then agreements, then contracts, and then closing, which yields commissions. The biggest opening of this funnel is leads. The more leads we get, the more appointments, the more agreements, the more contracts, and the more money in our pocket. And we need to, if you need to, print this out, put it on your wall, someplace that you can see it, every single day. If there's one thing that you didn't do that day, just remember, try to lead generate. Even on those days where I'm not cold calling, for example, today, I'm still going to go on my Instagram and probably direct message a few people just to check in on them and see how they've been, ask them, go through my analytics on my stories and see if I've done anything related to real estate, see how many people commented on that, see how many people liked it, and specifically target those people and go, hey, blah, blah, blah. I was just checking in to see how you've been. What's new? And then they go, oh, blah, blah, blah. Now I know that they commented on a real estate post that I just posted. We go through like the howdy doodies, what's new, talk about the weather, all that kind of stuff. And then I will follow up with, hey, by the by, do you know anybody who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? I've had one kick-ass of a year. A lot of people are taking advantage of the low interest rates. Just wanted to see if there's anything I could help you with. And that's a natural conversation. I mean, there's nothing more natural than checking up on a friend, seeing how they've been, and then following up with, hey, by the by, I am a real estate agent, so do you have any real estate needs? I'd love to help you. And oftentimes asking that question, people are scared to ask. Think about this. Have you ever been scared to ask for help? I know I have. I mean, I'm human, I'm assuming everybody on this call is human. So sometimes people just need a little bit of a prod to get the ball rolling. So always keep that in mind. So if you don't ask, we'll never know.
All right. We have to realize this whole business is cause and effect.
Yeah.
Reap what you sow. So if you put a lot in it, you're gonna get a lot out of it. You don't put nothing in it, you got nothing coming. So that's just all it is.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Cause and effect.
100%. All right. Benefits of prospecting. Awesome. We're going to skip this one. Okay. So the 4 C's of prospecting. Whenever we are prospecting, we want to make sure that we have a few things at the top of our mind at all times. We want to capture. What do we want to capture?
Attention? I don't know.
Yes. We also want that.
Leads.
No, we want to capture their contact information.
Oh, yeah.
All good. It says it on the screen too. So if anybody needs a little help, it's right down below. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, we're going to capture. What are we going to capture?
Their
contact information.
Perfect. And then we're going to connect with them by how?
Following
Call,
up.
text.
Call.
We want to connect by establishing a relationship. And then we want to close for them with them on an appointment, eventually to a buying or selling real property. And then we want to cultivate. We want to cultivate them to maintain and strengthen your relationship. So it's capture leads by getting their contact information. We want to then connect with them by establishing a relationship. We want to close them for an appointment and eventually to buying or selling real property. And then we want to continue to cultivate them to maintain and strengthen your relationship. So business building conversations aim to achieve these goals. Get an appointment, get a referral, and they always accomplish the following: strengthen the relationship. So again, oftentimes I will say that when we're cold calling or contacting our sphere of influence, we need to make sure we're coming from a place of contribution, place of I almost want to call it stewardship, but a place of education, giving them value. And then we also want to make sure that we're trying to build some form of rapport, whatever that might be. So, you know, I do love a lot of our cold call scripts, but the only issue that I have with them is it doesn't have enough space to build rapport. If you're just calling people asking for business right off the bat, it's better than doing neither of the two. I'd rather us call for business and just stick to asking for business than just calling to chit chat about the weather. So believe me, the business side is much more important. But at the same point, we want to make sure that we're also having that little human aspect added to it and just getting to know the person. You know, people want to do business with that they know, like, and trust. So we want to make sure we have our clients feel like they know us and they like us and they trust us. All righty. Okay. So number one, capture. The goal of building a database is to capture as many haven't mets as possible and turn them into mets quickly, and then turn mets into repeat referral business. One of the best ways to do this is to leverage your mets through prospecting. At Ignite sessions 1 and 2, you have been capturing contact information from your mets, but odds are you still don't have all the information you need from everybody. So what are some things that we may have now, but we might want to focus on trying to get in the coming days, months, years? So we might have a phone number. We might have their first name and last name. But, you know, we also want to try to get their mailing address. We also want to try to get their email address. We want to try to get their social medias. And by getting all these different things, we can basically pepper them, so to speak, with email marketing blasts, Instagram posts, Facebook posts. We can get them via text message. We can get them via email. We can get them via phone. They're going to see us in every single digital realm that they can think of. And we want that. We don't want to be annoying, of course, but, you know, when you're scrolling down Instagram and you see, oh, new listing, you want to make sure all those people in your database see that on their Instagram or their Facebook. You just wrote a really cool article about fun things to do for 4th of July during a pandemic. I don't know. We want to make sure that when you send that blast email out, that everybody in your contact list is also receiving that. You know, when you're cold calling or warm calling, we want to make sure that those people are also included in that. And by the more robust circle prospecting we do, the more likely it is that they are going to remember us when it comes to time to buying or selling. So good stuff. All righty, connect. Successful real estate agents understand how important it is to connect with people and refine the skill by doing it often and consistently. Your goal in the connect step is to approach an individual in a way that builds rapport and trust. One of the best ways is with questions. Look for opportunities to be of service to them. When you use your scripts and uncover a real estate need, dig deeper for more information that will help you close. All righty, if I could have, let's see, Crystal Stewart, if you could read connecting questions for us.
The entire thing or just the questions?
All of it. So go from left to right and then go down the list.
Get details to add to your database. If you would please tell me a little bit about your family, job, life, etc. Who? Assess their wants, needs, and plans. What are you looking for? What do you want to do? What? Pinpoint their location. Where would you like to buy? Where is your home located? Where? Determine their motivation. Why are you moving? Why? Get a feel for their timeline. When would you like to do this? When? Assess their expectations. How do you plan to do this? How?
Good stuff. So yeah, using questions with the words who, what, where, when, why, and how I think I missed one. We'll get you the full story on anything. This is very, very basic. We've actually learned this when we were in first grade, if we can remember. But all these questions are extremely important. And we want to make sure that we're implementing them whenever we are lead generating and connecting with people. The who, the what, the where, the why, the when, and the how. Very important. Okay, so closing. Closing is a process of asking for business. Connecting is crucial, but unless you get their business, you won't be making any money. Many agents are very successful at connecting with people. It's the asking for business that is so challenging. So remember I said, we really need to focus on when we're starting out and we're making calls, is if you are just focused 100% on the business side, that's okay. I'd rather us be more focused on business than we are on the, connecting and rapport and all that kind of stuff. Once you get proficient at the business side, you will then be able to kind of focus on the building rapport, which probably, because we were all real estate agents, we're probably pretty good at doing that anyway. It seems to be that we gravitate towards this kind of job because we are good at connecting with people. So the point is these classes, I definitely want us to focus on the business side, but without being able to, if we're only 100% on the connecting, we're gonna miss some business opportunities there. So an appointment, your goal for the call is to close at least one of the following: an appointment with them, a referral from them, a reciprocal connection with them. So the hard close, let's meet. The soft close. And so by the by, I want to ask everybody at the end after I read this, what is your favorite options of all of these, 1 through 10? The hard close, let's meet. The soft close, I really enjoyed visiting with you. When would you like to get together to discuss this further? The direct close, can we meet today or would tomorrow be better? The indirect close, would it be okay if I got some information to look over and then we can meet to discuss? The trial close, I think you would agree that we have gone over enough today. That meeting would be our next step. The assumptive close, it sounds like we should meet. I'm available most times this week, so what works best for you? The negative positive close, would you be offended if I asked if we could meet to go over this? The take back close, I really enjoyed visiting with you. To be honest, I'm not sure if I can help you or not, but I would be honored if we could meet to find out. The tie down close, would it make sense for us to meet in the next day or so? The alternative choice close, what works better for you? Meeting today sometime this afternoon or tomorrow morning? So which one of these speaks out to you? I mean, they're all great. There's none that are right or wrong or whatever, but one of these might work better for you based on your own personality, or based on the conversation. So my point is I'd like us all to kind of maybe print these out some way, somehow. And whenever we're cold calling and let's say we're talking for a little while, eventually we want to get to the point where we do close on them. So these are great questions to ask that could lead to that closing of a meeting, so to speak. I mean, personally, I like a couple of these. The take back close is a great one for when somebody is kind of on the fence. They seem like they're a little bit challenging to talk to. I don't know. Have you ever had one of those people who are like, yeah, oh, you're a real estate agent? Well, how can you help me? And they kind of have this weird little kind of, attitude, so to speak. I love this one for that one because it really kind of just throws it back in their face. Like, hey, listen, I don't care if you're, blah, 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 blah. It's literally, it says it right in the thing. Really enjoyed visiting with you. To be honest, I'm not sure if I can help you or not, but I would be honored if we could meet to find out. I think it's a great one, personally. Those are for those challenging clients. But other than that, I really love the hard close. Let's meet. Straight to the point. Anyway, think about that next time you're cold calling. It's really a wealth of options for us whenever we want to try to make those meetings. Okay, cultivate. Whether or not you have closed for the appointment or gone on a referral, once a connection has been made, it can always be strengthened. It's an ongoing process. So basically what this is saying to me is not every single time you make a cold call or warm call or reaching out to your sphere are you going to close on them? Are you going to make an appointment? And if that doesn't happen, if you don't get the appointment right off the bat, that's okay. But what we want to make sure is that we don't drop the ball by not following up with them. And that's where cultivating comes in. We make those contacts, fine, we don't get an appointment right off the bat, no problem. Why? Because we're going to go ahead, put them on a 8x8 touch campaign. We're going to put them on a 33 touch campaign, and we are going to make sure that we are staying in contact with these people, whether it be automated or, you know, reaching out constantly via text messages or phone calls or what have you. The cultivation, and just like Osei and Christopher said, the gold is in the follow-up. All righty, your sphere of influence. All the people you know, trust, and may do business with you. Think of the people closest to you as the inner circle of your sphere of influence. They are your biggest champions. They already know, trust, and respect you. Therefore, they are likely to be willing to help you. Because after all, people like to do business with people they know, trust, and respect. Your inner circle is the group of people you'll look to most often and reward most often to help and support in referring business your way. In fact, the majority of your business during the first year in real estate will most likely originate from your inner circle. It's only natural that your sphere of influence is a place where you'll begin to find leads. So when we're thinking of our sphere, we don't want to just think of our friends, relatives, neighbors, immediate family, your spouse or partner. You really also want to make sure you think about all those other people that they may know. For example, your friends, they have social media networks, bankers, doctors, you know, different people that your friends might know that could also refer you business to or refer you to, and likewise. Your spouse or your partner, you know, they may have an insurance agent who also has friends, who also has friends, who also has friends. And anyway, so this little pictogram down over here is a really great way to kind of think of your sphere. Obviously, we have our main people who are, you know, connected directly to us, but we also have all these other people who are connected to them that frankly could be sources of income. So remember, it's not always necessarily just the person we're talking to. We also want to make sure that we ask for referrals and, well, who else do you know? So very, very good way to think of this. Okay. So this is an active thing. We're going to go down a little bit. So time blocking with a 3-3. Prospect efficiently and consistently with 3 processes in your 3 hours of daily lead generation. The formula for this time blocking discipline is called the 3-3 and stands for 3 things done in 3 hours. As a new agent, you can and should spend more than 3 hours doing this. And I actually agree with that. When you're brand new, this is the time to, you know, eat those frogs, so to speak. And, you know, you want to start by eating the ugliest frog first, so it gets easier throughout the day. When we're first starting in real estate, our only job really is lead generation. Until you are in escrows, you need to be lead generation, lead generation, lead generation, lead generation. Forget your, you know, your website. Your website, you get a free one when you join with Keller Williams. It's good enough for right now. Forget how amazing your business cards look. They look good enough right now. Forget spending money on a huge marketing campaign, you know, out in the world. You know, it could be park benches. It could be expensive, you know, social media campaigns. It could be Zillow leads. Forget all of that kind of stuff. You really want to just mainly focus on lead generation, cold calling, calling your sphere of influence, and getting up on it. So anyway, prepare. So when we're going to lead generate, this is what we want to do. Prepare. Prep the call list. Say affirmations. Focus on your big why. Remember the big why that we were talking about in the first class or second class. We want to make sure we're keeping that in our minds constantly. Kind of prep us for those calls. Practice your scripts before you start picking up the phone. Maybe that could be an hour, you know, just doing that first portion. And then you want to take action. We want to prospect and update our database while we are prospecting. The way I look at it is whenever I'm cooking a meal, I like to also be doing the dishes at the same time. So once I'm done prepping with one dish and I got it on the stove and it's, either sauteing or grilling or whatever, I'm at the sink and I'm washing it at the same time. The plate that I was just using to chop up stuff. So I can put it away and be done with it. We want to do it consistently and actively while we are prospecting. So while we're on the phone with people, we have our database open, we're writing in notes, we're typing in stuff for reminders, and doing it simultaneously. Once we are done with our prospecting, once we are done updating our database, we want to track our results. How many calls did I make today? How many appointments did I set today? How does that look compared to what I did, the day before? Maybe you contacted, 10 more people, the day prior, and you were able to set 2 more appointments up. That is a quantifiable number that you could look at and go, hey, well, listen, if I want those kind of days, I need to be more consistent with how long I'm lead generating for. We want to schedule commitments. Let's say you made an appointment with somebody. We want to make sure we put that into our calendar. And then we also want to write up thank you notes. Again, one of the best ways I've built, rapport with some strangers, frankly, people that I just picked the phone up and cold called, were people in Bel Air who I had a nice conversation with them on the phone, and I went ahead and I wrote a handwritten note, sent it in the mail, and all of a sudden I got a call back, a few days later going, I just got your letter in the mail. I haven't received a letter from somebody in so long. That was so sweet. And yes, I did love our conversation. Go figure. I usually hang up on those people who just call me out of the blue, but thank you for that. That was really sweet. So we want to make sure we're doing all of that whenever we are lead generating. Alrighty, so we have a video coming up. Let me get back into this. We're going to go ahead and watch this video. Okay, finding more leads. Let's have a quick discussion after this video plays. Let me share. There we go.
Lead generation is your number one job. You have started by calling your Mets, your sphere of influence. You have even reached out via social media. But what do you do when you run out of contacts? Where can you find more leads? There are many places you can find additional prospecting opportunities. Think about your children's sporting events or activities. And don't forget about your own organizations and clubs. Your children's school or PTA would be an excellent source for contacts, as well as your place of worship. Even your mechanic. They rely on referrals for their business just like you do. Using these and other sources for prospecting opportunities will lead to more contacts and referrals that will grow your business. More contacts and referrals will lead to more appointments, listings, and closings. This will help you meet and exceed your goals.
That was a short one. So obviously it's very important for us to be lead generating. Any comments of that video? Any ahas?
It's all correct.
Awesome. I agree. That is, by the shortest video I think in this entire class.
But basically that's about how short and sweet it really should be.
I agree. I happen to agree with you. It's funny. There are some people, they'll do like one class of the Ignite and they just get it. They're like, you know what? I just need to be in front of my computer all day prospecting. Yeah. And sure enough, they have more listings than I do right now. I'm like, good job. And I love it. So awesome stuff. Okay. So prepare. We want a solid preparation. Solid preparation is the foundation for any successful prospecting. Plan to spend approximately 30 minutes getting ready. Prepping call lists, generate a list of names, phone numbers, and pertinent information. We want to make sure we're asking for referrals, your sphere, who is due for a call, for sale by owners, leads from sign calls or website, neighbors or just listed, just sold, expired, or withdrawn listings, allied resources, any past clients. So, for example, remember I said we want to be actively lead generating. So if I make a big post on Instagram and I'm what's the word I'm looking for? Boosting it, or how to speak. I'm paying for, added exposure. And I get a bunch of people who, send me a DM or write me or whatever. But some of them are just like, oh, this was really cool information. I like this post. I don't know. And I just kind of like go, oh, great, I got some comments. And I just leave it there. Am I doing everything I should be doing?
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
No.
What should I be doing?
Gaining their contact information, making appointments, like bonding with them, because there's so many other agents out there. The minute that you don't connect with them, they're just going to move on to the next person.
100%. And how often do you think people actually do the full follow-up? Hey, thank you so much for commenting on my post. I really appreciate it. Hey, do you have any real estate needs that I could help you with? How many agents actually take the step to do that?
Not many.
Not many. It's crazy. This business is literally just begging for us to just grab, market share. Literally, it's hilarious. And especially in Los Angeles, I hate to say it. I'm LA born and raised, but people here get really lazy. They get really complacent. We get caught up with like the rat race, and I'm more focused on my clothing and my this and my that and my my appearance and whatever it might be, how I look on social media, like, rather than doing the hard work, which is as simple as, hey, do you have any real estate needs? It's that easy. So remember, always ask for business in any situation that we're in, because frankly, a lot of our competition are not doing it. They're just hoping that people will spell it out to them and say, I have a real estate need and I want to work with you. Don't wait for them to say that. Assume that it's okay to assume that they want to work with you, but remember to always ask for the business. Okay. Rehearse scripts. Formal script practice is a daily activity you should be doing with a script partner or as part of a team prior to your preparation time. Say affirmations, focus on your big why, and keep your eye on your goals. So one of the things that I miss about having office, well, I guess we can be at the office, but I choose not to currently. But one of the things that I miss about being in the office all the time is I would very frequently do script practices with people, get together in the conference room and do like a big lead generation, phone call, session. And it's awesome. So just because we're not together doesn't mean we can't do this though. So if people want to, reach out to individuals in this class, see what their time is like, and try to get together and do this stuff, whether it be virtually or in person, because it really, really does help. And believe me, when you are cold calling and you do get that occasional rude person, it makes it so much easier to laugh it off when you're cold calling with somebody like right next to you, and it's like, wow, you can't believe this jerk. And it's just it makes it more fun, and you can laugh it off together, and it kind of builds like a little synergy kind of thing going on. Awesome. And plus you can make it fun. You can turn it into a game. First person who gets a lead or an appointment schedule, gets free drinks, gets their round of drinks paid for after the cold calling session. I don't know, making it up. And if you don't drink, even better. Awesome. So take action. It's prospecting time. Approximately 2 hours of the 3 is spent on making connections, building relationships, and asking for business. Get out your database or call list and start calling. Update your database with each call. It's important to get the details while they are fresh in your head. Maintain. Approximately 30 minutes of your daily 3-3 is time spent wrapping up your lead generation with methodical follow-up. Finish entering results in your database. Write follow-up notes. Track your results. Schedule and calendar follow-ups. Fulfill promises such as sending any information they requested. How many times do you think somebody goes, yeah, I'd love some information. I'm not ready right now, but sure, send me, something in the mail. How often do you think people forget to do that last little step? All the time. Listen, it feels good once you're getting off the phone. Oh, I have this great connection, and yeah, they're 6 months away, and they just told me to send them some information. I'll call them in 6 months. Do you think you're going to call that person in 6 months? No,
You'll forget.
You
Get
will
distracted.
definitely forget. 100% you will forget. So make sure we're doing it while it's fresh in our minds and get it on out the door and send it over to them. So we come off as credible. We are building credibility by sticking to our word. Okay, prospecting for opportunities. We have discussed working with your Mets and asking for referrals. But once you have contacted all of your personal contacts and any referrals you have received, where are you going to find more contacts? That's a big question, right? So far, we have learned different methods for finding, reaching out to, and connecting with potential clients. Now we will use this information to focus on different prospecting opportunities. So this sounds like a good video coming up. And let's get right into it. This is one of my favorite ones. These guys are awesome. And so we'll have a nice little conversation about this in 2 seconds.
Cool. So I'll say where we're from and then you get production level.
I think I need to make sure I'm sharing this. Okay.
Awesome. Is that all right? Hi, my name is Dylan Provenche.
I'm Sean Provenche.
We're from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We're the Real Estate Brothers.
2014, we wrote 72 transactions for $47 million.
Sean and I are very lucky because we're actually fairly entrepreneurial in sales. So we were able to just sort of survive by luck and by just sort of being likable and nice.
We had a decent business that wasn't growing.
We did a lot of door knocking originally, but what we found was with bad weather, plus you have to drive to door knock, it was just too much of a wild card.
If we were to grow the business, we needed to add people to our database. And if we were going to do that, we needed a systematic way that we knew we could achieve results that were predictable. So we just kind of started cold calling
about 3 hours a day, and we found that the results were phenomenal.
Come take a look where we've been this whole time.
You can literally do it from your kitchen.
It's just more time effective.
Yeah.
If you're cheap like we are, you don't want to spend a ton of money on the web or in print. Telephone lines, you pay a monthly bill and you can call all you want. Why don't you come in here? I'll show you the cold calling here. We've got a map where we've broken the entire city into zones. We like to target areas where we have buyers.
It's been scrubbed to the do not call list, and it still represents over 250,000 phone numbers. All of our desks have 3 monitors. We have Mojo in the middle. We have our scripts on the right. And then on the left,
do some research on the house they're calling for, stuff like that. Cold calling is like adding jet fuel to your car or something. Like it pumps your business up.
We went from making,
what was our first year? Like 70K. And then this year together we did $1.1 million. So this is Sean calling from the Real Estate Brothers. You know what? I'm so sorry to bug you today, but I just noticed that you live. You have to treat cold calling as though it's an appointment. If you don't prioritize it, things will always find their way in and block you from being able to do it. And it's the most important thing you can do for your business.
Absolutely most important. And you have to quantify it as well. The bold 100 contacts a week is a really, really cool way
to set a bar.
To set a bar and get started and stick to it. Whatever your decision is. I was just wondering, was anything changed in your plans? Are you still thinking this straight to get it on the market?
You can't think today was a bad cold calling day because today doesn't matter. What matters is what you accomplish in a year. And if you just keep adding people to your database and systematically follow up with them and take care of the people who you work for, you'll do great.
You're not always going to have great success every day, but it's by doing it every day that you have great success.
We're going to be in the neighborhood for the next 2 weeks giving free evaluations. You know what I'd love to do?
I'll say too that one thing that we were afraid of, and I think everyone is just the rejection side of things. People being mean to you on the phone and rude. We have this saying with our team that you're either part of our future or part of our past, and either way it's fine. The people who are rude to us are obviously not going to be part of our future.
Have a chuckle about it. Like, honestly, when someone cusses at me or something, I just laugh because it's funny.
And do you think that it might make sense for us to book something tentatively for the weekend?
The more time you spend not on the phone, you're losing money because that 3 hours of my day is my 20% where I make my money.
Don't get ready to start thinking about how you're going to eventually do something. Just do it. Like,
just do it.
Done.
Stop watching this video. Get off your butt and go start dialing numbers and talking to people. Just get on the phone.
Yeah, and if you hate money, don't do it.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, I love this one. There's a lot of nuggets of gold in this video. This is literally one of my favorite videos. The one where it's an organized database is one of them, but this actually I think is my favorite. But what about this video stood out to all of you on this call?
They're consistent. They set out a time block to make calls every day, and that's their priority.
100%.
And they're also looking at it as the bigger picture. Like, You know, it's going to take a while. It's not going to happen overnight, and you just have to keep going at it. And eventually, when you get more experience and you do more work, you're going to find success.
100%.
And every day you're planting seeds. That's all. You're planting seeds and you're fertilizing. When the crop comes, it's crazy.
Yep. 100%. And you know, something that I notice is they're very purposeful with their cold calling. They dropped a little nugget of gold right there. And they said, we like to cold call where we have buyers. What do they mean by that? Where we have buyers? Are the buyers living there or maybe looking to buy in that location?
Looking to buy.
Boom. Why is that so important?
Because that's where you're going to get your business.
Right. And also, does that kind of help the conversation a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, because people are anxious.
Yeah. Well,
And
so
you're-
listen, if
And
I'm
you're
cold,
educating sellers or potential sellers that their property, like what their property is worth, because there's interest in that area. If you're farming an area that has no interest in it and you're telling people, like, what are you going to tell them? Oh, yeah, nobody has shown interest in this area, but I think you can get some money for it.
So I agree 100%. And one thing that I also want to point out, they said they did $47 million worth of transactions or something like that. How
In
many of those,
2013.
yeah, and how many of those do you think they double ended?
Probably at least 15%.
I would say a pretty good amount, because the reason why is they're saying, I like to call neighborhoods where I have buyers actively looking in that neighborhood.
Right.
Because that conversation all of a sudden becomes very easy. And they actually gave a little bit of a tidbit of their script. And this is a script that I use, frankly. It's not exactly the same as theirs, but it's somewhat similar. It's, hey, I was saying, Christopher, how you doing today? It's Jared.
Good, my friend. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Listen, I was saying, I'm looking at I'm sorry to bother you today, but I'm looking and it says that you live in Bel Air right on Linda Flora Drive. Is that correct?
That's true.
Listen, I have a lot of buyers who are looking in that area right now, but as you might know, that the inventory is extremely low. Have you thought, or maybe one of your neighbors have ever thought about selling in today's market?
Matter of fact, it's on my mind. I had a relative that passed and I have to make a move.
I hear you, man. I'm really sorry. My condolences to your loss. How are you dealing with that?
It's saddening, but we're moving forward.
Gotcha. Well, listen, it sounds like, you know, you have a need and you need, unfortunately, need to be somewhat actionable. Would you like to set up a time to meet? And before I bring my buyer, I'd like to take a look at your property, make sure that it meets their criteria. And then also I can give you a free home evaluation. We can see how much it's worth and get it ready for market. How does that sound?
Sounds great, my friend.
Awesome.
I was waiting for a call like this.
Good. I'm glad. You know, listen, I look at myself as the Amazon of real estate. I'm popping up right when you need me. So
that's right.
Good stuff. Listen, so tomorrow I'm free around 2:00 p.m. Does that work? Otherwise I can do 5.
5 would be better.
Awesome. I'll see you 5 o'clock, and the address, blah, 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 Linda Flora Drive.
Yeah. Would you like my email?
I would love your email address. Ready when you. So the point is, though, is that phone call is going to be much more natural because I have a buyer. I have somebody who wants to buy their property. And by saying that, you know, we're much more likely to get an invite over to get an analysis of how much their property is worth. And frankly, if they don't, if let's say Christopher said, you know what,
we lost you.
Jared, you're frozen.
Snap out of it, man. Snap out of it.
My computer died. Is everybody there? My computer died. Sorry about that.
Yep, we're all here.
Okay, I'm on my cell phone right now while my computer is charging. I think my dog accidentally knocked my charger out while I was talking earlier. But the whole point is, though, is that by doing this form of lead generation, you're able to, 1, get a lot more buyers, and 2, potentially get more listings. What are some other points that they made in this cold calling thing that we could, maybe utilize, or any other ideas that kind of stuck out when they were talking about cold calling?
We made a suggestion of like 100 calls a week.